Thanks, Lashon Corder, for facilitating that. Obviously, time is moving on quicker. The bill is moving on quicker than I expected. Could I just say that this is a very, very important subject, and it's welcome to see the two ministers responsible here in the chamber for this. There's the bill which Sinn Féin is supporting but will be amending. Is welcome. The idea of having children with special needs, with a certain level of special needs being segregated, is not on. But if we're going to have them in mainstream schools, we have to make the provision for that. And there are shortfalls in terms of staff, there are shortfalls in terms of accommodation, and those need to be met up. Some of the proposals in the bill around the admission policy and making provisions for special classes and disability access, I want to welcome that, Minister. That's, it's positive. The Board of Management cooperation, the fact that the Minister has the powers, but I come back to the issue of resources. We can make directions all we like from this House and from government buildings, but if on the ground, if the schools don't have the resources to carry it out, the ministerial direction will be of little use. But overall, the bill is welcome, and the schools, will have to comply, and they will have to have it within their admission policy. So that's positive. Could I just say that in relation to special schools, progress has been made with SNAs, but the status of SNAs in terms of recognition of qualifications and their pay grade, etc., that has been raised over the last number of years, and it's an issue that needs to be addressed. It's not one that we can keep long fingering. They're providing a vital service within the schools, and there has to be support for that, and putting in a level of qualifications, along with recognising the experience that the ones who are there for a number of years have already brought to it and developed, and that come in at a different level. So just to say that, could I just raise with you in relation to provision? The problem arises a lot of the time when children move on to second level, and I have a case in County Offaly, well into County Offaly, I should add, where the child is now finished in primary school. His father works 130 kilometres away. That's the only car in the house. That's the only car with this family. He works 130 kilometres away by necessity because he was transferred there recently. He has to go there and 130 miles back, or stop out a couple of nights a week or whatever. So if the child has, maybe it's not the appropriate word, but maybe a meltdown is the word I would use at school, there is no way of picking him up, because he's been told that the nearest school place is up the road from my house in Portlaoise College, a quarter of a mile from my house. So he has to go to Portlaoise College. So, logistically, this is a nightmare for the family, and they're desperately trying to source a place, a special needs place, for this child in a second level school in Offaly. I have a woman in Portarlington, an autistic son. He's been told he has to go to Portlaoise, 19 kilometres away. No options there. She's a single parent. Could I just say to you as well in closing, Minister, the Colby School, and you're saying to me you're taking a special interest in this, the building is desperately needed, but there is a situation there at the moment regarding staffing. They're in contact with your department regarding SNAs and therapists. I had contact again from them this morning. It's an issue that I want you and I want senior officials to try and do something about. And the very last thing, and it's a bit off this bill, is the school transport section in Tullamore. We used to be able to contact somebody, we used to be able to talk to a human being about, you might have to contact them 5 or 6 times a year, or maybe only 2 or 3 times. I'm telling you that I spent a good bit of last Monday trying to reach somebody by telephone, right? And it's not possible. There's no one to answer a phone, there's no phone being answered, there's no voicemail, and there's no way of actually getting in connection with a human being. And that is not acceptable. If the public can't do it, we can't even do it as TDs. And I would just ask, Minister, that someone would make an inquiry as to what's going on there. We need to be able to talk to an official there when we have serious matters. Thanks, and thanks for your indulgence.